People born in the 80s and the first half of the 90s are referred to as millennials, the name alluding to the fact that this generation came to age in the information age. For many millennials, the global financial crisis was their first real exposure as young adults to banking and finance in general. As first impressions go, they don't get much worse than this. Children of the baby boomers, many millennials saw their parents lose their homes, businesses, livelihoods as a direct result of the goings-on in the financial services industry. So they did not trust the system, and not only had they the motive to change it, but they had at their disposal the tech tools to do so. That's why they're called millennials after all. And this really is the why, the when, and how the term Fintech, as we currently think of it, was born. Much of the really innovative stuff in Fintech has been done by millennials, and here are a few examples. This particular millennial and the company he created need no introduction, though worth saying that 36 is his current age in early 2021. He was still only 19 when he launched Facebook. Whilst never set up with finance in mind, Facebook represented a paradigm shift for social interaction and pioneered the role of platforms in the new tech world. Nowadays we have the largest content company not creating any content, the world's largest hotel chain not owning any hotels, the world's largest taxi company not owning any taxis, and so on. Platforms, online marketplaces which bring buyers and sellers together, or consumers of a product and service with suppliers of that same product or service. Platforms are ubiquitous across online industries generally. Zuckerberg's platform innovation paved the way for adaptation to financial services, and almost certainly was the inspiration behind many fintech startups. Indeed, Facebook itself nowadays is increasingly involved in providing financial services. Next, we have Ethereum. Ethereum is a global open source platform. There's that word platform again, for decentralized applications. Ethereum is about 6 years old now, so here again we have someone just out of their teenage years able to start something of this magnitude. Ethereum is perhaps a natural successor to Bitcoin, a name you will be more familiar with, as something which operates on very similar tech principles, cryptocurrency, blockchain and mining, etc., but which is designed to be more than a decentralized payment system. Next, we have two Estonians, Henrikus and Carmen, founders of TransferWise, an online money transfer service, a fintech unicorn company. Henrikus was the first employee of another Estonian-born unicorn, Skype, a name you will be familiar with. And nowadays, we even have individuals starting banks. Sounds a little crazy, I know. Challenger banks, as they are known. Monza is a great example. More generally, we have young fintech startups who don't want to be banks, but who want to work with existing banks to design bespoke applications that are exceptionally high quality because they specialize in only one area of provision or service. As a result, we find established banks partnering with a range of fintech companies to develop an overall portfolio of high quality tech-enhanced financial services. And these guys, they were 26 when they founded Venmo, a mobile payment service with a social media interactivity layer designed to take the awkwardness out of paying for a shared bill in a restaurant, etc. Venmo is now owned by PayPal. Some of these people are even former bankers. Nikolai Storonsky founded Revolut when he was 30. It is now one of Europe's breakout unicorns. Nikolai was working for the fabled Lehman Brothers in 2008 when the old financial system collapsed. He is one of the millennials building a new financial system, as are these guys with a distinctly local significance, Patrick and John Collinson, who at the ages of 19 and 21 respectively started a company called Stripe. 11 years on, and Stripe is one of the largest fintech unicorns in the world, and this pair in 2016 became the world's youngest self-made billionaires. Stripe was valued at $9.2 billion in October 2016, almost quadrupling in value since, such that in October 2020, Stripe was valued at $36 billion. Not bad for a couple of kids originally from rural Ireland. The fields of finance and technology have traditionally both been very much male dominated, but thankfully Fintech has seen and is increasingly seeing women take influential roles and leadership roles right across the piece. Here I focus on just a few taken from the Innovate Finance Women in Fintech webpage. My selection, whilst essentially random, gives some insight into the range of ways in which women are entering and shaping the industry. These women, and many others like them, will hopefully inspire other young women to get involved in this space. For anyone who wants to take a more detailed look, I provide a link to the site and in a later slide. Here we have Diana Avia, Global Head of Banking for TransferWise, a company featured in one of the earlier slides. Or this woman, Evelina Varabi, Chief Technical Officer for Toucan, a software engineer by profession. Or Jennifer Byrne, CEO and co-founder of Quesnay. Or Alison Choi, Head of Machine Learning at Starling Bank. That was only a tiny selection of women in fintech, but enough to see the diversity of leadership roles they are performing. Leading strategy, leading operations, leading financial and technology innovation, leading entire organizations. I have provided the link here if you want to look a little further into this aspect of the industry.